The soft hum of the Zorith starship filled the air as Renak stared out the wide glass window. Stars sparkled like tiny diamonds against the endless black sky. Renak, a young scout with bright eyes and a curious heart, felt excitement bubbling inside him. This was his first patrol near the human sector, and he could hardly keep his tail from flicking with energy. But his thoughts kept returning to the same words. The law is clear. Never engage humans. He had heard the warning many times. The Zorith Council believed humans were unpredictable and dangerous. Stories of human bravery and creativity had reached every corner of the galaxy. Humans were known to survive impossible battles and solve problems in strange, unexpected ways. The Council feared them, not for their weapons, but for their hearts. "Renak," said a voice behind him. It was Lauren, his team leader. She stood tall, her green scales shining under the soft lights. "Keep your focus. We scan. We report. We leave. No contact." Renak nodded quickly. "Yes, Lauren. I know the rule." But his voice held a spark of curiosity that Lauren did not miss. She gave him a sharp look. "Good. The humans are not our enemies, but they are different. It's best we stay away." The ship's console beeped suddenly, breaking the silence. A red signal flashed on the screen. "Distress call detected," said the ship's computer. "Source: human vessel." Renak's eyes widened. A human ship, nearby, in trouble. He felt his heart beat faster. Lauren's voice was firm. "Ignore it. We have our orders." Renak hesitated, his gaze locked on the blinking signal. "But they need help," he said softly. Lauren's eyes turned cold. "We cannot break the law. Humans will survive. They always do." But Renak's heart ached. How could they turn away from someone who needed help? Suddenly, the ship shook lightly. "The human vessel is losing power," said the computer. "Collision likely in 2 minutes." Renak felt a knot in his chest. He couldn't just watch them crash. His hands moved before his mind decided. "Activating tractor beam," he shouted. The beam shot out, catching the human ship and slowing its fall. The small vessel floated gently, safe from disaster. "Renak!" Lauren shouted in shock. "What have you done?" But before she could stop him, a voice crackled through the speakers. A human voice. "This is Sam from Earth's ship Pathfinder. Whoever you are. Thank you." Renak's heart pounded. He didn't expect the voice to sound so kind. Lauren growled softly. "You've broken the law, Renak. The council will hear of this." Renak's voice was steady but soft. "Then let them hear. I couldn't let them die." The human voice returned, warmer this time. "I don't know who you are, but you saved my life. My ship's damaged. Can you help me with repairs?" Renak glanced at Lauren. She was tense, but her eyes held a flicker of uncertainty. "We'll give you instructions," Renak said into the speaker. "But we cannot meet in person. It is against our rules." Sam chuckled softly. "Understood. I'll take any help I can get. What's your name, friend?" Renak paused, then said simply, "Renak." "Nice to meet you, Renak," said Sam. "Maybe one day I'll return the favor." For the next hour, Renak guided Sam through repairs, describing how to restart the ship's power core and stabilize the engine. Sam listened carefully, following every instruction with skill and patience. During their work, Sam spoke of Earth, of green forests, blue oceans, and cities that reached the sky. He spoke of humanity's love for exploration and their endless curiosity about the stars. Renak listened, fascinated. Sam sounded like someone he could trust. Finally, the human ship's engine hummed back to life. "We're good," said Sam, his voice bright with joy. "Renak, I owe you one. If you ever need a friend, just call me." Renak felt a warmth he could not explain. "Safe travels, Sam." But before they could say more, an alarm blared on Renak's console. Lauren stepped forward, her voice tense. Zoreth patrol ship approaching. They've detected our beam. We must go now. Renak felt his heart sink. Sam, you must leave quickly. It's not safe here for you. Understood, replied Sam. Goodbye, Renak. Stay safe. The human ship vanished into the stars. The Zoreth patrol hailed their ship. Lauren answered with a calm but cold voice. This is Lauren, Scout Vessel 7. We responded to a distress signal, but did not engage further. The patrol captain's voice was sharp. Return to the council immediately. There will be an inquiry. The call ended, and silence fell. Lauren turned to Renak, her eyes hard but her voice low. You have broken the law. The council will punish you. Renak met her gaze, his voice soft but firm. I don't regret saving him, Lauren. The law was clear, but maybe the law is wrong. Lauren's expression shifted, a crack in her strict mask. She said nothing, but her silence spoke of confusion, and perhaps a small seed of doubt. The ship turned, heading back toward their homeworld. Renak's heart was heavy with the weight of his choice, but inside him, something new glowed, hope, because he had met a human. And the human had been a friend. The Zoreth Council chamber was cold and silent. Tall, glowing pillars lined the room, casting soft blue light on the polished floor. Renak stood in the center, his heart pounding but his face calm. Around him, the council members, cloaked in silver robes, watched from their high seats. The High Elder, Varen, spoke with a sharp voice. Scout Renak, you have broken our law. You engaged with a human. Renak kept his voice steady. Yes, Elder, I saved a life. The chamber buzzed with soft murmurs. Varen's eyes narrowed. Do you understand why we forbid contact with humans? Renak nodded slowly. Because you say they are unpredictable. You say they cannot be controlled. Varen's voice grew cold. Humans are not like other species. They adapt too quickly. If they see our technology or our ways, they will grow stronger. Their nature is to push beyond limits. Today, you helped one. Tomorrow, they may conquer us. Renak felt a fire inside him. But that human, Sam, showed kindness. He wasn't dangerous. He only wanted to live. A second elder, Mara, spoke softly but firmly. It does not matter. The law is to protect our future. You broke it. Renak expected punishment, but Varen's next words surprised him. Your actions were foolish, the elder said. But we will not punish you. Instead, you will learn. You will monitor humans, study them from afar, report their behavior, prove to us why they are a threat. Renak's eyes widened. You want me to watch them. Varen's voice was cold. Yes, watch them. And when you see their true nature, you will understand why we keep our distance. Renak felt a knot in his chest but bowed. As you command, Elder. Renak's ship hovered above Earth's orbit. The blue planet spun below, covered in clouds and seas. He felt a strange warmth looking at it. The computer's voice broke his thoughts. Human ship approaching. Pilot identified. Sam. Renak's heart jumped. Sam. He quickly opened a private channel. Renak. Sam's voice came through, full of surprise. Didn't expect to see you again. Are you following me? Renak smiled softly. I was sent to observe your species. Sam chuckled. Observe, huh? Well, how about you join me instead? I'm delivering supplies to a space outpost. Could use some company. Renak hesitated. The council said to observe, not to engage. But something in him wanted to know more. All right, he said, his voice careful. I will. Watch from close by. The space outpost floated near a dusty moon. It was old but lively, with small human ships buzzing around like busy insects. Renak stayed on his ship, scanning from a distance. Through his monitor, he saw Sam unload crates of food and parts. Suddenly, a warning flashed. Ship approaching fast. Unknown origin. Renak looked up as a Carthan warship appeared, its metal hull glowing under the stars. The Carthans, known conquerors, were enemies of many worlds. The outpost's alarms blared. Humans scrambled for cover. A voice boomed over the outpost's channel. "This is Captain Threx of the Carthan Empire. Surrender your supplies, or be destroyed." Renek's scales prickled. He knew the Carthans well. They conquered without mercy. His claws hovered over his controls. The Council's orders rang in his ears. Do not interfere. But then he saw Sam. The human was not running away. He was helping others, guiding people to safety, securing crates, and shouting for calm. Renak felt his chest tighten. Humans were supposed to be selfish, unpredictable. But here was Sam, risking himself to help strangers. The Carthan ship charged its weapons. The outpost's shields flickered, weak and old. One shot would destroy everything. Renak's heart pounded. His hands moved on their own. He opened his ship's channel. "Attention, Carthan vessel." Renak's voice rang clear. "This outpost is under Zoreth observation. Stand down or face consequences." For a moment, there was silence. Then the Carthan captain's voice, amused. "Zoreth, alone? You cannot stop us." Renak's ship powered up. "Try me." The Carthan ship fired first, but Renak's small craft was fast. He dodged and returned fire, his shot striking the enemy's engines. Sparks burst from the Carthan hull. Inside the outpost, Sam stared at the screen in shock. "Renak, what are you doing?" Renak's voice came through, calm but firm. "Protecting life. Isn't that what humans do?" The Carthan ship tried to escape, but Renak hit their thrusters with precision. Disabled, the warship drifted, powerless. A voice from the outpost broke through the channels. "Zoreth ship, this is Commander Hayes. You saved us. Thank you." Renak felt a strange warmth. "It was the right thing to do," he replied. Sam's voice returned, soft but proud. "You didn't just observe, Renak. You acted. You helped." Later, back in his quarters, Renak reviewed his report. His orders were to find danger in humans, but what he had found was courage. Still, he hesitated. He knew if he reported the truth, that humans were not threats but protectors. The Council might not believe him. The ship's communicator beeped, a secure message from the Zoreth Council. "Report your findings," said Veyron's cold voice. Renak's fingers hovered over the console. His heart raced. Should he tell them everything? Would they understand what he had seen? Finally, he spoke, his voice steady but careful. "The humans, they are unpredictable, as you said, but not because they are dangerous. They are unpredictable because they act from their hearts. I observed them today, not fighting for power, but for each other." There was silence on the other end. Then Veyron's cold voice, distant and unreadable. "Continue your observations. We will consider your words." The transmission ended. Renak leaned back, his heart still racing. The Council was not convinced, but something had shifted, a small crack in their certainty. And Renak knew one thing for sure. He would not stop observing, but more than that, he would not stop believing. Renak sat in his dimly lit ship, staring at the report he had just sent to the Zoreth Council. His fingers tapped nervously against the metal desk. He knew his words were dangerous. He had told the truth. Humans were not the threat the Council believed them to be. But the Council did not like change. A soft beep echoed through the ship. A new transmission. Renak took a deep breath and opened the message. The cold face of High Elder Veyron appeared on the screen. His silver eyes glowed with authority. "Renak," he said, his voice calm but sharp, "you have submitted a concerning report." Renak sat up straight. "Elder, I only reported what I observed. Humans are not conquerors. They are protectors." Veyron's expression did not change. "You disobeyed direct orders. You engaged in battle. You revealed yourself." Renak's tail curled slightly. He had expected this reaction. I did what was right. I saved lives. Veyron's gaze darkened. You are blinded by your emotions. You have spent too much time near humans. You no longer think like a Zoreth. Renak clenched his fists. Is thinking with kindness a weakness? For a long moment, there was silence. Then, Veyron spoke again, his voice cold. You are ordered to return to Zoreth Prime immediately. You will be questioned. Do not engage with humans again. The transmission ended. Renak let out a slow breath. He had been expecting punishment, but something in Veyron's voice unsettled him. The council was afraid. Not of humans, but of the truth. A new beep interrupted his thoughts. Another message. But this one was from Sam. Renak hesitated, then accepted the call. Renak, Sam's voice came through, cheerful as ever. Just wanted to say thanks again for the help back there. Renak managed a small smile. You humans always thank others. It is strange. Sam laughed. It's what we do. Listen, I know your people don't trust us, but you made the right choice. The Carthans won't forget what happened. They might come back. Renak's expression grew serious. That is what I fear, and now I must leave. The council has recalled me. Sam's smile faded. They didn't like your report, huh? No, Renak admitted. They do not want to hear that humans can be good. Sam was quiet for a moment. Then he said, So, what are you going to do? Renak looked out the window, at the stars stretching before him. He had a choice. Follow the council's orders and return home, or stay and find out the truth for himself. Finally, he said, I do not know yet. Hours later, Renak's ship was on course for Zoreth Prime, but his thoughts kept returning to Earth, to Sam, and to the Carthans. Then an alarm blared. Unidentified ship approaching. The computer announced. Warning, Carthan vessel detected. Renak's stomach tightened. He quickly scanned the incoming ship. It was a small Carthan scout, but its weapons were armed. A message came through. Zoreth vessel, this is Captain Threx of the Carthan Empire. We know you helped the humans. Renak's heart pounded. I only defended an outpost. Threx's voice was filled with amusement. You think your council will protect you. They do not trust you anymore, but we see your value. Renak, join us. Renak's eyes narrowed. Join you. Threx chuckled. You are an outcast now. The Zoreth will never accept you again. But we welcome those who understand power. Come with us, and you will have a place among the strong. Renak felt a cold wave wash over him. The Carthans thought he was weak, but now they were trying to recruit him. He took a slow breath. I would never join those who conquer. Threx sighed. A shame. Then you leave us no choice. The Carthan ship fired. Renak's ship jolted as a blast struck the shields. He gritted his teeth and spun the ship sharply, dodging another attack. His hands flew over the controls, activating countermeasures. But the Carthan ship was faster. Another shot slammed into the engines, and Renak's ship lurched. Alarms blared. Damage critical, the computer warned. Renak cursed under his breath. He was losing power. If he didn't act fast, the Carthans would destroy him. Then, a new voice crackled through the speakers. Hang on, Renak. Help's coming. Renak's eyes widened. Sam. A human ship burst into view, firing at the Carthan vessel. The enemy ship dodged but took a direct hit to its side. Sparks exploded from its hull. The Carthans hesitated. Then, realizing they were outmatched, they turned and fled. Renak slumped in his seat, breathing heavily. Sam's voice came through. You okay? Renak let out a shaky breath. You saved me. Sam chuckled. What did I tell you? Humans always return the favor. Renak shook his head in disbelief. Why would you risk yourself? Because you're my friend, Renak, Sam said simply. And friends don't leave each other behind. Something inside Renak shifted. The council feared humans because they thought humans were dangerous. But the real danger was their loyalty, their kindness. Renak closed his eyes for a moment. Then, with a deep breath, he made his decision. "I cannot return to Zoreth Prime," he said finally. "Not yet. The Carthans are planning something. I need to know what." Sam's voice was steady. "Then let's find out together." Renak looked at the human ship beside him. He had broken the law once before. Now he was about to break it again. But this time, he knew he was doing the right thing. As the two ships turned away from Zoreth space, heading toward the unknown, Renak felt no fear. For the first time in his life, he felt free. Renak's ship glided through the silent darkness of space, flying side by side with Sam's vessel. Stars sparkled around them, but Renak's heart was heavy. He had defied the Zoreth Council, and now there was no turning back. Inside his cockpit, Renak's claws moved over the controls, his eyes fixed on the scanner. "Sam," he called through the communicator, "I am detecting a faint signal ahead." "It is Carthan." Sam's voice replied, steady but curious. "Think it's their base." Renak's tail flicked thoughtfully. "Possibly. But it is hidden, like they do not want anyone to find it." Sam chuckled. "Well, that makes me more curious." Renak felt a small smile tug at his lips. Humans and their curiosity. It was both their greatest strength and their greatest danger. The signal led them to a large asteroid field. Rocks floated slowly, some small as pebbles, others massive like mountains. The Carthan signal pulsed from deep within. Renak narrowed his eyes. A perfect hiding place, but dangerous. Sam's voice was light but firm. "I'll follow your lead, Renak." Renak's heart warmed at those words. Trust, something rare, yet Sam offered it freely. "Stay close. I will guide us through." The two ships weaved between jagged rocks, dodging and twisting through the asteroid belt. Renak's scanners beeped softly. Energy readings ahead. "We are close." Suddenly, Renak's sensors flashed red. "Sam, shield up. Now." A beam of light shot from the shadows, grazing Sam's ship. He spun his vessel sharply. "Whoa, they noticed us." Renak's voice was calm but sharp. "Scouts. They are guarding something." A Carthan patrol ship appeared from behind an asteroid, charging weapons. Renak's claws gripped his controls tightly. "We cannot fight them directly. Follow my lead." He dove between two massive rocks, his ship spinning. The patrol ship chased, firing bright beams that scorched the asteroid walls. Sam's voice came through, light but steady. "You're fast, Renak." Renak felt a flicker of pride. "Try to keep up, human." Suddenly, Renak spotted a narrow gap between two colliding rocks. He calculated quickly, dangerous, but possible. Through the gap, "Trust me." Sam didn't hesitate. "On your tail." Renak's ship shot through the closing gap, and Sam followed just behind. The patrol ship tried to chase, but too late. The rocks crushed together with a deep, silent crash, trapping the enemy ship inside. Sam's voice came through, full of excitement. "Nice move, Renak." Renak allowed himself a small smile. "We make a good team." Beyond the asteroid field, the source of the signal appeared. A large Carthan station hidden inside a hollowed-out asteroid. Renak's eyes narrowed. "That is no outpost. It is a factory." Sam scanned the station. "They're building something big." Renak's claws tapped quickly on his console, hacking into the station's weak security system. A blueprint appeared on his screen, and his breath caught. "It is a warship," he said, his voice tight. "But not Carthan design. It is a hybrid." Sam frowned. "Hybrid? What does that mean?" Renak's voice was cold. "It means they are using Zoreth technology. Technology that only my people should have." Sam's eyes narrowed. "How did they get it?" Renek's scales prickled with dread. There is only one way. Someone from my kind gave it to them. Sam's voice turned serious. You're saying there's a traitor in your council? Renak felt his heart sink. It is possible. A soft alarm beeped on Sam's console. Oh, Renak, they'd spotted us. The station's defenses activated. Turrets turned toward them, glowing with deadly energy. Renak's voice was firm. No time to run. We must stop them from completing that ship. Sam's voice was steady. Then let's do it together. The two ships shot forward, dodging beams of light. Renak's claws danced over his controls, targeting the turrets. Sam, cover me, he ordered. Sam's voice came through. You got it. Renak fired, blasting one turret into sparks. Sam looped behind him, taking out a second. But the station's shields glowed strong. Renak's eyes flicked to his screen. The shields, we must disable their power source. Sam's voice crackled. Can you find it? Renak's scanners locked onto a core deep inside the station. Yes, but from out here, it is protected. Sam's voice was calm but firm. Then I'll go inside. Renak's heart jumped. No, it is too dangerous. Sam's voice softened. Renak, you said it yourself. We make a good team. Trust me. Renak's claws tightened on the controls. The thought of losing his friend was sharp and painful, but he also knew Sam was right. Finally, he said, I trust you. Be careful, Sam. Sam's small shuttle docked in a side port of the station. The airlock hissed, and he stepped into the cold, dark corridor. His heart pounded, but he moved quickly, guided by Renak's voice in his earpiece. Go left, Renak instructed, his voice steady but tense. The power core is near. Sam reached a large room. In the center, a glowing core pulsed with blue energy. Renak's voice came through. Destroy it, and the shields will fall. But before Sam could move, a deep voice echoed behind him. You should not be here, human. Sam turned sharply. A Carthan guard, tall and armored, blocked the path. Renak's voice snapped through the earpiece. Sam. Sam's heart raced, but he stood firm. You're too late, he said, his voice steady. Your plan ends here. The Carthan laughed coldly. No, human. Your life ends here. Suddenly, a sharp hiss. The guard's eyes went wide. Then he collapsed with a thud. Sam's eyes widened in shock. Behind the fallen guard stood Renak. Renak. Sam gasped. How? Renak lowered his weapon, his voice tight. I could not leave you alone. We are a team, remember? Sam's chest filled with relief. You broke the law again. Renak's eyes met his, full of determination. Some laws deserve to be broken. With no more hesitation, Sam raised his blaster and fired at the core. It exploded in a burst of energy. The station shook violently. Renak grabbed Sam's arm. The shields are down. We must go. The two sprinted back to Sam's shuttle, the station crumbling around them. The ship launched just as the station erupted into fire and debris. In space, Renak's ship flew to meet them, welcoming them back. Inside the cockpit, Sam panted but smiled. We did it. Renak's voice was soft but strong. Yes, together. But his eyes darkened with thought. The Carthans had Zoreth technology, and someone from his world had helped them. This battle was won, but the war had just begun. Renak's ship cruised through the vast silence of space, with Sam's vessel flying close beside. The explosion of the Carthan station was behind them, but the questions it left burned in Renak's mind. The enemy had Zoreth technology. Someone from his people had helped them. In the cockpit, Renak's claws tapped restlessly on the console. His voice broke the silence. Sam, the council must answer for this. Someone from Zoreth gave the Carthans our designs. Sam's voice came through the speaker, steady but curious. You think it's one of their leaders. Renak's tail flicked with tension. It is possible, but without proof, the council will silence me. They already see me as a traitor. Sam's voice grew firm. Then we find the proof. Renak's gaze softened. You are risking much by helping me. Sam chuckled lightly. That's what friends do. Renak. Renak felt something warm in his chest. Then let's uncover the truth together. The two ships jumped into hyperspace, heading for a remote Zorith relay station known as Nexus Point 7. It was a secret hub where the Council stored classified records. Renak had once guarded it. Now, he was returning as an intruder. The station floated quietly in the darkness, its sleek Zorith design shimmering under distant stars. Renak's voice was calm but tense. We cannot enter with force. The alarms will alert the Council. Sam replied quickly. Then we slip in quietly. You know their systems, right? Renak's claws moved swiftly over his console. Yes, I will disable their external sensors. You will dock through the service port. Sam's voice was light with humor. You're the brains. I'll be the legs. Renak's tail flicked with amusement. Just try not to get caught, human. Sam's shuttle docked smoothly into the small port. The airlock hissed, and he stepped into a dim corridor. His heart pounded, but Renak's steady voice guided him through his earpiece. Go left, then through the maintenance corridor. The main data core is ahead. Sam moved quickly, avoiding the sight of automated cameras that Renak disabled one by one. At last, he entered a circular room filled with glowing data towers. The air hummed with the power of stored knowledge. Renak's voice came through. Good. Now, I will unlock the core. Be ready to download everything. Sam pulled out a small device and connected it to the terminal. The screen lit up, data scrolling fast. Suddenly, Renak's voice turned sharp. Sam, a guard patrol is coming. Sam's chest tightened. He ducked behind a console as two Zorith soldiers entered, their eyes scanning the room. One guard's voice was firm. Unusual activity in the system. The second guard narrowed his eyes. We should alert command. Sam's hand hovered near his communicator, but he stayed silent. Then, a sudden alarm blared from the corridor outside. The guards turned sharply. What? Renak's voice crackled in Sam's ear. I triggered a false alarm on the lower level. They will investigate. Hurry. The guards rushed out, leaving Sam alone. His chest pounded. Thanks, Renak. That was close. Renak's voice was tight. No time to rest. The download is complete. Get out. Now. Sam pulled the device from the terminal and sprinted back through the corridors. He reached his shuttle just as another alarm rang, this one real. The ship's doors sealed behind him, and he launched into space, returning to Renak's vessel. Inside Renak's ship, Sam slumped into a chair, his breath heavy. Got it. Every record from their core. Renak's claws moved swiftly as he decrypted the data. His eyes scanned line after line, until he froze. Sam noticed the change. Renak? What is it? Renak's voice dropped, cold and tight. A name. A transmission record. Sam leaned forward. Who? Renak's scales stiffened. Elder Varen. The one who ordered me back. He sold our technology to the Carthans. Sam's jaw tightened. The Council's own leader. Why? Renak's voice was low with disbelief. For power. The Carthans promised him control over human territories if he helped them win. He betrayed both my people and yours. Sam's fists clenched. We can't let him get away with this. Renak's eyes burned with determination. No, the Council must know the truth. I will confront him myself. Sam's voice was steady. I'm coming with you. Renak looked at him, his voice soft but strong. Thank you, my friend. The two ships jumped to Zorith Prime, the grand homeworld of Renak's people. They approached the Council spire, a towering structure of glass and light. Renak's ship transmitted a request to land, but his signal was met with silence. Then a cold voice echoed through their speakers. "Renak," said Elder Veyron's voice, smooth and sharp, "you should not have returned." Renak's voice was firm. "I have proof of your betrayal, Veyron. The Council will see it." Veyron's voice held amusement. "The Council already knows, Renak. They chose silence. You are alone in this." Renak's claws tightened. "Then I will show the truth to everyone." Veyron's voice darkened. "You will not leave this place." Suddenly, defense drones soared from the spire, locking onto Renak's and Sam's ships. Sam's voice was urgent. "Renak, incoming." Renak's voice was sharp. "Evasive maneuvers. I will broadcast the proof across their network." Sam's ship weaved through the air as beams flashed past. "I'll draw their fire. You get that signal out." Renak's claws flew over his controls, accessing the public transmission lines. But then, an energy blast struck his engines. His ship trembled. Sam's voice crackled through. "Renak, you're hit." Renak's voice was tight with pain. "I cannot hold power much longer." Sam's voice grew fierce. "No, hang on." Suddenly, a new voice broke through their comms. "Renak, we are here." Zoreth ships, piloted by warriors loyal to Renak, swept in from the sky. They fired at Veyron's drones, scattering them. Renak's voice trembled. "You came." A warrior's voice replied. "We saw your broadcast. We believe you." With his last power, Renak's signal spread across Zoreth Prime. On every screen, Veyron's betrayal played clear. The people of Zoreth watched in silence. Then outrage. Elder Veyron's voice crackled back, now panicked. "No, you ruined everything." As Veyron's control shattered, Renak's ship, damaged and weak, began to fall. Sam's voice shouted through, desperate. "Renak, I'm coming for you." Renak, weak but smiling, whispered, "I trust you, Sam." Renak's ship spiraled downward, smoke trailing from its damaged engines. Inside, warning lights flashed, and sparks fell from the control panels. Renak gripped the seat tightly, his body weak but his mind focused. Through the crackling communicator, Sam's voice was urgent. "Renak, eject now." Renak's claws hovered over the escape command, but he hesitated. "No, the broadcast signal is still sending. If I stop now, Veyron will erase everything." Sam's voice was fierce. "Your life is more important." Renak's voice was calm but firm. "The truth must survive, even if I do not." Suddenly, a shadow passed above his ship, Sam's shuttle. It dove beneath Renak's falling craft. Sam's voice crackled through. "Hold tight, Renak. I've got you." The human ship extended a docking beam, catching Renak's vessel and slowing its fall. Renak's eyes widened. "Sam, you are risking your ship." Sam's voice was steady. "I told you, we do this together." With a screeching roar, both ships crashed into a wide courtyard below, sliding to a smoking stop. The ground trembled from the impact. The air was silent for a moment. Then the crackling of fire and the soft hum of damaged systems broke through. Inside his ship, Renak's vision blurred, but he felt his seat restraints release. His claws fumbled, but then a strong human hand pulled him free. "Got you," Sam said, his voice strained but steady. Renak's eyes met Sam's. "You saved me." Sam smiled faintly. "We're friends. That's what friends do." The loudspeaker of the city suddenly blared to life with Renak's broadcast. Across Zoreth Prime, screens showed the full truth: Veyron's deal with the Carthans, his betrayal of both species, and his plan to conquer humanity. Crowds gathered in the streets, their faces a mix of shock and anger. Zoreth guards, once loyal to the council, began to lower their weapons. Whispers filled the air. Then, a cold voice echoed from above. "Arrest them." Veyron's personal guards, wearing black armor, surrounded the burning ships. Their leader, a tall Zoreth with piercing eyes, pointed his weapon. "You will come with us," he ordered. Sam's body tensed. He stepped in front of Rynak, his hands raised. "We're not fighting you." Rynak's voice was steady. "Everything is out. The people know the truth." The guard's eyes flicked to his communicator. He had seen the broadcast himself. His clawed hand trembled. Suddenly, a voice from the crowd. "Rynak speaks truth." Another voice. "Veyron betrayed us." The guards hesitated. Then one lowered his weapon. And then the others followed. The crowd surged forward, forming a protective line around Rynak and Sam. The people of Zoreth, united, shouted together. "End Veyron's rule. Truth for Zoreth." Veyron's face appeared on a massive screen above. His eyes burned with anger. "You fools," he hissed. "I gave you order. I gave you power. Without me, you are nothing." Rynak stepped forward, his voice clear and strong. "No, Veyron. Without truth, we are nothing." The people's voices rose louder. "Remove him." Veyron's eyes narrowed. "Then I will burn it all." The ground shook. Suddenly, massive defense turrets on the council spire began to charge. Rynak's eyes flashed. "He's going to destroy the city." Sam's voice turned hard. "Not if we stop him." Rynak's claws tightened. "Then let's finish this, together." Rynak and Sam sprinted through the grand entrance of the council spire. The polished floors reflected their racing footsteps as alarms blared through the towering structure. Above them, the defense turrets hummed, ready to fire on the city. Rynak's voice was urgent. "We must reach the control room. Veyron will destroy everything." Sam nodded, his breath steady. "Lead the way." The hallways echoed with the sounds of battle outside. Loyal Zoreth warriors fought against Veyron's guards, but the enemy forces were closing in. Suddenly, Sam's voice crackled through. "Rynak, you're hit." Rynak's voice was tight with pain. "I cannot hold power much longer." Sam's voice grew fierce. "No, hang on." Suddenly, a new voice broke through their comms. "Rynak, we are here." Zoreth ships, piloted by warriors loyal to Rynak, swept in from the sky. They fired at Veyron's drones, scattering them. Rynak's voice trembled. "You came." A warrior's voice replied. "We saw your broadcast. We believe you." With his last power, Rynak's signal spread across Zoreth Prime. On every screen, Veyron's betrayal played clear. The people of Zoreth watched in silence. Then outrage. Elder Veyron's voice crackled back, now panicked. "No, you ruined everything." As Veyron's control shattered, Rynak's ship, damaged and weak, began to fall. Sam's voice shouted through, desperate. "Rynak, I'm coming for you." Rynak, weak but smiling, whispered, "I trust you, Sam." Rynak's ship spiraled downward, smoke trailing from its damaged engines. Inside, warning lights flashed, and sparks fell from the control panels. Rynak gripped the seat tightly, his body weak, but his mind focused. Through the crackling communicator, Sam's voice was urgent. "Rynak, eject now." Rynak's claws hovered over the escape command, but he hesitated. "No, the broadcast signal is still sending. If I stop now, Veyron will erase everything." Sam's voice was fierce. "Your life is more important." Rynak's voice was calm but firm. "The truth must survive, even if I do not." Suddenly, a shadow passed above his ship, Sam's shuttle. It dove beneath Rynak's falling craft. Sam's voice crackled through. "Hold tight. Rynak, I've got you." The human ship extended a docking beam, catching Rynak's vessel and slowing its fall. Rynak's eyes widened. "Sam, you are risking your ship." Sam's voice was steady. "I told you. We do this together." With a screeching roar, both ships crashed into a wide courtyard below, sliding to a smoking stop. The ground trembled from the impact. The air was silent for a moment, then the crackling of fire and the soft hum of damaged systems broke through. Inside his ship, Renak's vision blurred, but he felt his seat restraints release. His claws fumbled, but then a strong human hand pulled him free. "Got you," Sam said, his voice strained but steady. Renak's eyes met Sam's. "You saved me." Sam smiled faintly. "We're friends. That's what friends do." The loudspeaker of the city suddenly blared to life with Renak's broadcast. Across Zoreth Prime, screens showed the full truth. Veyron's deal with the Carthans, his betrayal of both species, and his plan to conquer humanity. Crowds gathered in the streets, their faces a mix of shock and anger. Zoreth guards, once loyal to the council, began to lower their weapons. Whispers filled the air. Then, the cold voice echoed from above. "Arrest them." Veyron's personal guards, wearing black armor, surrounded the burning ships. Their leader, a tall Zoreth with piercing eyes, pointed his weapon. "You will come with us," he ordered. Sam's body tensed. He stepped in front of Renak, his hands raised. "We're not fighting you." Renak's voice was steady. "Everything is out. The people know the truth." The guard's eyes flicked to his communicator. He had seen the broadcast himself. His clawed hand trembled. Suddenly, a voice from the crowd. "Renak speaks truth." Another voice. "Veyron betrayed us." The guards hesitated. Then one lowered his weapon. And then the others followed. The crowd surged forward, forming a protective line around Renak and Sam. The people of Zoreth, united, shouted together. "End Veyron's rule. Truth for Zoreth." Veyron's face appeared on a massive screen above. His eyes burned with anger. "You fools," he hissed. "I gave you order. I gave you power. Without me, you are nothing." Renak stepped forward, his voice clear and strong. "No, Veyron. Without truth, we are nothing." The people's voices rose louder. "Remove him." Veyron's eyes narrowed. "Then I will burn it all." The ground shook. Suddenly, massive defense turrets on the council spire began to charge. Renak's eyes flashed. "He's going to destroy the city." Sam's voice turned hard. "Not if we stop him." Renak's claws tightened. "Then let's finish this, together." Renak and Sam sprinted through the grand entrance of the council spire. The polished floors reflected their racing footsteps as alarms blared through the towering structure. Above them, the defense turrets hummed, ready to fire on the city. Renak's voice was urgent. "We must reach the control room. Veyron will destroy everything." Sam nodded, his breath steady. "Lead the way." The hallways echoed with the sounds of battle outside. Loyal Zoreth warriors fought against Veyron's guards, but the enemy forces were closing in. Suddenly, from the shadows, Veyron's elite guards emerged, blocking their path. Their armor gleamed, and their eyes burned with cold duty. Renak's voice was sharp. "Stand aside. Your leader has betrayed us all." The captain of the guards, a tall Zoreth named Callan, stepped forward. "We follow the council's orders." Sam's voice was firm. "Then you're following the wrong side." Callan's eyes narrowed. "You, human, you should never have been here." Renak's voice turned cold. "Yet without him, we would never know the truth." Callan paused, uncertainty flickering in his eyes. "Truth." Renak's voice softened but stayed strong. "Veyron betrayed our people. He sold our future for his power. I have shown the proof." Sam added, his voice steady. "Look outside. The people know. Will you fight against them, or stand with them?" Callan's claws tightened on his weapon. Then, slowly, he lowered it. "Go," Callan said. "Stop him." Renak's eyes met his. "Thank you." The guard stepped aside, and Renak and Sam rushed forward. They reached the grand control chamber. The walls glowed with screens showing the city and the charging defense turrets. At the center stood Elder Veyron, his claws dancing over the controls. Veyron turned, his eyes burning with cold anger. Rynak, I warned you. You brought a human into our world. And now, you bring ruin. Rynak's voice was firm. No, Veyron. You brought ruin. Sam's voice was sharp. Step away from the controls. Veyron's lips curled. You think I will let you stop me? The city will burn before I lose my power. Rynak's claws flexed. You have already lost. The people know everything. Veyron's eyes flashed. Then they will watch their world fall. Suddenly, the turrets began to power up, their deadly energy gathering. Time was running out. Rynak shouted, Sam, the control panel. Sam dashed to the console, his hands racing over the unfamiliar Zoreth technology. Veyron's voice snapped. No. The Elder slammed his claw on a button. The entire room sealed shut with heavy blast doors. The turrets outside charged faster. Rynak's voice was tight with urgency. Sam, can you stop it? Sam's hands flew across the controls. I'm trying. Their systems are different. Veyron's voice was cold and triumphant. You will fail. Rynak's voice was fierce. No, we will succeed. Together. Sam's fingers pressed one last command. The turret systems froze. But a warning flashed. Manual override required. From main core. Sam's voice was tense. We need the main power core. Fast. Rynak's eyes locked on a glowing conduit across the room. There. But Veyron moved first. He slashed the control link with his claws, severing the connection. The core dimmed, and the turrets began charging again. Veyron's voice was cold. No escape now. Rynak's eyes flashed with determination. There is always a way. He turned to Sam, his voice low but clear. The main core can restart if connected directly, but it will drain all energy from my suit's power core. Sam's eyes widened. No, you'll. Rynak's voice was calm. There is no time. I trust you to finish it. Before Sam could stop him, Rynak leaped to the main core. His claws dug into the exposed conduits, and his suit sparked as his energy merged with the system. The room flashed. The turrets outside froze. The warning lights faded. Veyron's voice broke with rage. No. Sam's voice was desperate. Rynak. Rynak's form trembled, his energy fading, but he turned his gaze to Sam. His voice was soft but strong. I believe in you, Sam. Suddenly, the doors burst open. Callan and the loyal guard stormed in. Callan's voice thundered. Veyron, you are finished. Veyron's eyes, wild with fury, darted around, but he was trapped. Callan's voice was sharp. Take him. The guard seized Veyron, his power finally shattered. Sam rushed to Rynak, catching him before he fell. Rynak. Sam's voice broke, his hands shaking. Rynak's voice was weak, but he managed a small smile. Did we win? Sam's eyes were wet. Yes, we did. You did. Suddenly, the screens outside lit up. The people of Zoreth watched, their voices rising together. Rynak, Rynak, Rynak. The crowd's chant filled the air. The name of their true hero. Callan's voice was deep and steady. Rynak, you saved us all. The council will answer for their betrayal. And you will always be honored. Rynak's voice was soft, his eyes closing. Honor means nothing without a friend. Sam's grip tightened. I'm here, Rynak. Always. The room grew quiet. The battle was over. The law had been broken. But humanity and Zoreth had found something greater. Trust. Outside, the sky cleared. The city stood safe. And the people, Zoreth and human, stood together. In the end, the law was clear, but friendship was stronger. And together, they built a new future. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story.